Mando's actually a daddy now. That's sweet. That's sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and welcome back to our finale spoiler review for The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 8, entitled The Return. This, of course, is a spoiler review, so if you have not watched the final episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, please make sure that you pause this video, go watch the episode. It's, you know what, for all the crap you might give them about pacing and how the season might have went, they know how to wrap everything up with a lovely bow right at the end. So go back, watch it, and then come back and hear my thoughts on it. And if this happens to be your first time checking out one of my videos, hi, my name is Will, and I do geeky stuff on the internet. I do reviews and reactions, discussions, some gaming, some drinking. Just like to have a lot of fun, and I hope you do as well. And if this happens to be your bag and you're interested in hearing that from a geeky bear like myself, subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out, and I would greatly appreciate if you did that. So, we're at the end of Season 3. Let's talk about it. The 8th and final episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian is entitled The Return, as we pick up from our cliffhanger of last week where Mando was captured and Moff Gideon, now with his Mandalorian-style troopers, are attempting to complete the siege of Mandalore, or the purge of Mandalore, by attacking not only the fleet that is above, but taking out Bo-Katan and the rest of the Mandalorians that are currently trying to escape his base. Yeah, it's one heavily action-laced episode, as I would have expected nothing less from this finale. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze. Getting here was a little rough this season. It was very kind of jumbly here and there. It wasn't necessarily a smooth moment to get here, but we're here. And we've got Mandalorian action, or Mandalorian Wish.com version of Mandalorian action. And that kind of makes sense why all of the stormtroopers and Imperial troopers in this base are basically Imperial versions of Mandalorians, because that way you can get awesome action sequences like the Mandalorians rocketing in to the base and the Imperials flying up, and you get that clash in the air and just like boom, all that stuff. You can get those sort of sequences when, yeah, everybody's on the same level playing field. It doesn't take long for Mando to escape from his Imperial clutches, because they only send 2 guards with him. And the whole time, as everyone else is like trying to escape, I'm like, where's Grogu? And apparently he went to go save his daddy, and which was really cute. So him and Mando are making their way to stop Gideon, and at the same token, the Imperial forces are rocketing up to the fleet, where before they get there, our boy Axe Wolves actually makes the save of the day and actually is able to help warn the fleet, get everyone out of there, and get the forces that Bo-Katan needs in order to take the fight to Moff Gideon's forces down to the planet in order to help. There's a lot of things in this episode that I think they really play on the expectation of, like, who was the hidden spy in the Mandalorian forces and stuff like that, who tipped him off to Moff Gideon and what he was doing. Come to find out, nobody did. So those expectations are out the window, and that's a really cool thing about the episode. Anything pre-expectations you might have had going into this episode, just throw them out the window, because none of them come true. So one little tease that we saw that I didn't notice in the previous episode was that they were talking during the Shadow Council meeting about Moff Gideon's interest in cloning, and he kind of denies it, but he was actually trying to clone other versions of himself. And he even admits to it when he is confronted by Mando, that he was trying to create a Force-sensitive clone of himself, which I'm just like, bro, get your own shtick at this point. It's like, you're into cloning. You copied all the Mandalorian armor. Now you want to use the Force. That's why you wanted Grogu. But albeit, it was a cool showdown between Mando and Gideon, because Mando came to the realization, like, they're never going to be done as long as Gideon's still around. So they go toe-to-toe. Grogu gets separated by the Praetorian Guards, and he has to kind of fend for himself for a little bit, which is kind of cool. We get to see some of the results of his training. He starts flipping around to avoid them as his IG-11 mech was destroyed. But he's able to kind of hold them off long enough for Mando to show up to start taking down the Praetorian Guards along with Grogu. And we also get to see Bo-Katan go one-on-one with Moff Gideon, which was a really cool fight. You know, the armorer showed up to help, so she's obviously not a spy. You know, like, everybody you thought could have been a spy, not a spy. Everybody, oops, sorry, something's mine. Yeah, everybody you thought could have been a spy, not a spy. There you go. It was just the one spy, Elia Kane, someplace off on Coruscant. They have their final showdown between Gideon and Bo-Katan. And Gideon actually destroys the Darksaber. He crushes it. Because apparently he has super strength in that armor now. Because he can't come up with anything else to do, bro. That takes the Darksaber off the table permanently, I guess, unless somebody wants to reforge it. So that's no longer a MacGuffin. This episode, and I'm going to expand on it more as we get through it and get to my closing thoughts on it. This really felt like the finale of The Mandalorian. Like, it's very interesting how this episode ends, and maybe Mando and Grogu take down the Praetorian Guards. Really cool, by the way, because Grogu does use the Force to help Mando out while he's going toe-to-toe with them, and is able to disarm and Force push him and stuff like that. So he's becoming much more skilled with the Force, and it's very cool. And then before Moff Gideon can take out Bo-Katan, Mando comes, sliding in with blasters, boom, 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 and Grogu's helping too. And it's a really cool three-way dance. Well, not three-way, it's kind of a four-way. But it's a really cool dance between everybody as they're all taking out their grief on Moff Gideon as the other Mandalorians are taking down the Wish.com Imperial version of the Mandalorians. And in the sky, you see our savior, Axe Wolves, God, coming in with the damaged ship, basically about to plow into...
That's what she said!
the base to blow it up. And as everyone else escapes, they're able to disarm and hold off Gideon long enough to be engulfed in flames. But they're not engulfed in flames because Grogu does what he did in Season 1's finale, where he used the Force to push the flames back, protecting his mom and dad. It is so sweet. I was like, he protected his parents. Because, come on. If you don't think Din Djarin and Bo-Katan are not his surrogate mother and father, I don't know what series you're watching, but that's my headcanon, and I'm sticking with it. Yeah. That's basically where the culmination of Moff Gideon's story ends in a big old blaze of glory. Mandalorians have Mandalore again. They took out the rest of the Imperial remnants on Mandalore. They do a lovely little ceremony in the Living Waters where Ragnar, Paz Vizsla's kid, got baptized. But something interesting too is that the armorer left out the part of the baptism where he's like, and you will never remove your helmet. That line was left out of it. So that's interesting to see if this is this new evolution to the way where they're not as rigid as they used to be. So that's a really good character development for her. That was her character development for the whole season. You can take your helmet off so you can shower. But also, Grogu needs to get baptized as well because he is no longer a foundling. He is now Din's apprentice. But because Grogu still can't talk, the armor kind of says he can't be an apprentice. He has to continue to be a foundling. And this is where I thought Grogu was going to actually utter his first words. He did not. Again, expectations out the window. Din says if his guardian or parents gave permission, would that be acceptable? And she said, yeah, but we don't know where his parents are. And then Mando was like, well, I'm adopting him. He's my son. Give me a minute.
5 minutes later.
That, I was like, it's your baby. It's your baby boy.
My baby boy!
It was sweet. So that was a really touching moment. So now he is Din Grogu. He's officially it's so cute. That was the cutest part of the episode. That was what this whole season was meant for. They're now father and son officially. Am I getting emotional? Oh my god, I'm getting emotional. And so after that is literally, oh my god, Jesus. After that is literally,
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
after that is literally just a montage of what everyone else is doing to wrap up everyone else's story. Bo-Katan and the armor reignite the Great Forge with all of Mandalore present for it, and they're gonna start reseeding the planet because they already found signs of it from the survivors who have been living on the planet all these years, of how they were able to start farming some of the natural vegetation outside of the dome cities. It's a good sign that the soil is becoming habitable again. So that's kind of their story wrapped up. Besides, now Grogu and Mando are officially father and son. Because he is now his apprentice, the new mission is to journey the galaxy and have adventures, because that's what apparently that they do once they become apprentices. So they're not really going to be on Mandalore at this point. They're going to go off and do their own thing. We return to our status quo of the season, where it's just Din and Grogu. And their first stop is actually to go meet up with Carson Tevla, the New Republic pilot, in order to kind of strike up a working arrangement between, Mando and this sort of group of the New Republic without officially being working with them. It's more so to take on missions and jobs that aren't necessarily going to be as crazy as they used to be, since he's got his baby boy with him now. And also, in exchange, is they have an IG-11 head there, so they're going to use that in order to fix IG-12. And that's what they do. They roll back over to Navarro, meet up with Grief Karga again, who gives him another little section of land with a lovely little cabin where they can relax and chill out in between adventures and kind of just have a normal life as father and son. In exchange of that, they also repaired IG-11, so I think now he's just officially IG-12, and he's actually going to be the Navarro's new marshal, which is what Grief Karga needed, was someone to help protect the citizens of Navarro. Again, that story out the window, completely done. And that's basically where the series ends, where the season ends. Grogu and Mando just chilling at the house. Grogu's doing the whole Force thing with the frog, but he doesn't eat it this time, so he's growing. And Mando's just chilling. That's the end of the season. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did, it felt very much like a finale of not just a season, of like the series. Are they planning on doing a season 4? I think they are. I think I remember hearing rumors that they are doing a season 4, but this completely sets everything back to zero, where you're done with Moff Gideon, all the clones are dead, as well as Gideon himself. Supposedly, I'm going to assume he did get engulfed in fire, but who knows. The Mandalorians are now united back on Mandalore, trying to rebuild. There's no more Darksaber, so nobody's got a claim to the Darksaber, and no more bitching about that. And Grogu and Mando are together. Story's over, I guess. It just seems like a fitting ending to the show to a certain extent. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to do something further with Mando and Grogu, because you can. I mean, obviously, I think they are doing a season 4, but season 4 is going to be completely different now, which I think is awesome. I think it's going to be good that you're not going to have any initial baggage from any of the other seasons to worry about. You can start fresh slate, just them going on adventures. And I think it's a really smart way of wrapping up the first. I'm assuming this is the first phase of Mando and Grogu's journey. No longer, Cargo and a bounty hunter. They're now a father and son duo traveling in the galaxy, having adventures. So you can kind of plop them in other series, and it's not going to be weird, because he doesn't have any previous baggage he has to worry about now. Mandalorians are getting along just fine. He could probably take off his helmet. I thought they were going to be like, oh, okay, well, if they're not as rigid with the helmet thing anymore, take off your damn helmet. I thought that was going to be how the series was going to end. He's going to sit there and just like chill, and you're going to see Pedro Pascal's lovely ass face. But no, he was still wearing the helmet still, which is fine. It just felt like a finale. And I think that's incredibly exciting. One thing when you have so much stuff going on and you kind of lose sight of what the show really was, the show was kind of like a lone wolf and cub sort of adventure thing, and they can kind of get back to that without having to worry about all the other Mandalorian BS. They can just be a father-son team roaming the galaxy. Are they going to get wrapped into whatever's going on with the Ahsoka series? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a cameo of them in Ahsoka. This was a satisfying conclusion to the story. I would have wished the journey to get here was a little bit smoother, but I think they pulled it out in the end, so I'm not disappointed. And it's going to be interesting to see where they pop up next. I mean, if this was it, like if they weren't doing a season 4, I'd be like, wow, that's a hell of a way to go out. I mean, it's a quick way of going out. But I feel like season 4 is going to have something interesting and much more like adventure of the week style to it. And I think that's going to be a little bit more easy viewing. But there will probably be some sort of overarching story. I just hope it's balanced a little bit better than I feel like season 3 was. Season 3 was kind of a jumble here and there. I think they stuck the landing. And they set themselves up to have a very interesting future where we don't know what the hell is going to happen. And I think that's dope. So that's going to do it for this review of the entire Mandalorian Season 3 of Episode 8. Whatever. I know how to talk. Let me know any thoughts you have on the episode and as the season as a whole in the comments down below. Thank you for joining me on these episode reviews for The Mandalorian Season 3. I hope you have enjoyed them. I have enjoyed watching the series and talking about it. I always do. I honestly do. It might take me a little time sometimes to get the videos out in a quick manner because of work and other life reasons, but I appreciate everyone who has watched these episode reviews, who's commented, shared your thoughts in the comments. It's been really fun. I believe the next series is Secret Invasion. I don't know if I will be doing episode reviews for Secret Invasion. We will see. As long as time allots, I will probably do them. So subscribe to the channel just so you know when I post new videos on here. I appreciate you watching this video. You can follow me at a lot of different social media platforms that are listed at the end of this video. A ton of videos on here. The entire previous 7 episodes are on the channel as well as this one now. So go watch them and like, share, and subscribe. All that fun stuff. And as always, until next time, may the Force be with you. I said it right. And I will catch you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.